Good morning, sweet angels. Okay, I'm getting all situated. All right, so I look terrible. Maybe it's just because I'm in front of this big window and I just look really, really, really pale. Okay, whatever. So, hello, angels. All right, we are starting an entirely new unit. And for this unit, we're going west. We're going to Europe. We've been in Asia and Africa with Egypt, and that's it. Now we're going to Europe. We are going to be in Europe for a little while, and then we'll go back to Asia, and we'll bounce everywhere. Cool? So we will start dealing with ancient Greece. Okay, this is really kind of a shorter unit. Probably only like 2 weeks. I don't know with all the weird virtual stuff, but probably only about 2 weeks. It's usually a pretty short unit, so shouldn't be a big deal. Kids usually like it a lot. You have to like pick apart a lot of the mythological stories to like separate out what is myth, religion, and what is truth, history, and government. So the kids, I say the kids, students in the past often have a lot of fun with that. Here's basically how it'll go. We will start with the Minoan Greeks, because there's actually like different types of Greeks. The Minoan Greeks, the Mycenaean Greeks, the Dorian Greeks. Well, we're going to start with the Minoans, okay? Because they're the oldest. Then we'll move to the Mycenaeans, and basically we deal with the Trojan War. You've heard of that, yes? If you've seen the city or the movie of Troy, great. Please don't think it's accurate to the book. Please, please. And then we'll move forward to kind of more Dorian time period. There we go. But we need to talk about some governments, so I take a little bit of a detour in our fun story. And I'll be honest, dealing with the governments is not fun. That right there. I'll just boom, boom, boom as quickly as I can because it's not fun. It's not a bunch of stories. It's just these are all the kinds of governments that Greek poleis have, and so you got to know these. Yeah. Then we will deal with Sparta, and I know you're all excited for that. And then we will deal with Athens, and then we'll talk about philosophy. Kind of like with the ancient Chinese philosophies, this is the same thing. I noticed pretty quickly some of you love it or some of you hate it like with passion. But we'll discuss the three main philosophers, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. And then we will move down here and we'll deal with Alexander the Great and Hellenistic culture. And then Greece gets taken over by Rome. Yes. Okay. So again, it's kind of a short unit. In a normal school year, 2.5 maybe. But again, with all this weird corona-ness, I don't know. We'll see. I think it'll be pretty quick. So let me make this big. There we go. I feel like my brain isn't all here today. Like I'm not working on all fours. Okay. This right here, you've seen this map all year long. Because these are our ancient river valley civilizations. Yeah? You should know these. What is it? And the river? What is it? And the river in the north? And the river in the south. It's right there, so you should be getting these answers right. Civilization? River? The river that comes this way? And then we have and the river in the north? And the river down here. Okay, look. Going west. Yeah? This is Greece. We have the Mediterranean Sea here. Remember when we talked about Phoenicia trading purple dye snails? And we talked about the Hebrews? They're here. Okay. Remember Catalhoyuk? Catalhoyuk? Hittite town? It's right here. This is ancient Greece. Right here. If we keep going here, Rome, but we're not there yet. Greece. Okay. Okay, look. Look at Greece. What you're looking at, here we go. What you're looking at here, this over here is Hittite land. Catalhoyuk is probably right in here somewhere. Okay. This is Hittite land. So farther this way, wait, it's backwards to you. Okay, farther this way on the map is Mesopotamia. This right here would be the Phoenicians, the Hebrews, and Egypt's down here. Yeah? This is Hittite land. Okay? Sorry, I had to pump my arm. But then all of this, dark orange, that's Greece. Sort of. Macedonia is a little bit separate, but that's okay. Okay, just look at the land for a second. It's a lot of islands. It's a lot of mountains. We've got a lot of mountains, a lot of islands. Okay. The Greeks are not a united people group yet. All right. I mentioned already there's typically we consider to be like three different types of Greeks. The Minoan Greeks, who live down here, the Mycenaean Greeks, and then the Dorian Greeks. Okay. Mycenaean is right here. So Mycenaean, and then you move up Dorian. Later they'll all kind of mix and stuff, but right now, three different types of Greeks, and they really don't have anything to do with each other except for trade. So there are a whole bunch of city states. Remember city states? They're separate from each other. They have different governments. They have different kings. That is government. They have different, I don't know, whatevers. They will trade some. They will come together some for wars. And they do have the same basic religious beliefs. Greek mythology is the religion, but even each city focuses on different gods. Athens really focuses on the goddess Athena, whereas Sparta, the famous one, really focuses on the god Ares, god of war. Okay. Athena, goddess of wisdom. She's also a war goddess, but she's more like strategy goddess. Okay. So you have different cities that focus on different gods. It's all the same basic religion, but they focus on a different place. What are y'all doing? I'm sorry, it's the dogs. Okay. So we are starting with Crete down here in the south. Okay. The people who live on the island of Crete are the Minoans. The Minoans. I hear people say, I'm trying to think, I've heard people say Minoan differently, and I'm like, what? And then I realized they were saying Minoan. Is it Minoan? No, my, I don't know what they said, but I was like, okay. So, Minoan Greeks, okay? Okay, there we go. Down here. Okay. Crete is this big island, huge island, yeah? However, there used to be a bigger island to the north. You're like, what? A volcano island to the north. I mean, I guess technically the volcano is still there, but yeah, the island is definitely not as big anymore. I look so pale. What is happening? I don't know. I'm just feeling my vampire today, I guess. I don't know. Every time I glance at myself, I'm like, ugh. It's just one of those days, you guys. Okay, please remember this big volcano up here. Don't forget it. Maybe that's why we have a whole bunch of small islands. Maybe there used to be one big one. Hmm. You think? All right. The capital city of Crete is this right here. You will hear people say it different ways all the time. You will hear people say Knossos, the K is silent, Knossos, or you will hear people say uh, Gnosis, Gnosis, or you will hear people say Knossos. You say the K, Knossos. You're going to hear it said all those ways for the rest of your life. In different history classes, I heard my professor say it different ways. The same professor. Sometimes he would say Knossos, sometimes he would say Gnosis. Unfortunately for you, that means sometimes I do too. But I've also heard people say Knossos. So I don't know. Knossos, Gnosis, or what is it? Gnosis or something. So whatever. But Knossos, which is what I typically notice that I say, is the capital city of the island of Crete. All right, the Minoan civilization. All right, and their most. Oh, I have a mistake here. Hey, das nicht gut, my Studentin. Okay, their most like important king is King Minos. Minos. Okay, I don't have a picture to show you. We got nothing. Pictures that are like painted of him or drawn of him or whatever are way later. They're not even like Greek, like way later, like in the medieval period or whatever. Because there are medieval pictures of him. From look what came up, myth from Dante's book. Oh, I want art, please. Okay, that's probably him. That's not. Oh, here, this is the one I was thinking of. Right there. You're like, what is that? Yeah. See, we don't have anything that is like this is King Minos. So it makes it kind of hard to show you pictures. That being said, look at the word Minos and the word Minoan. Minos, Minoan. We don't actually know what the people of Crete called themselves. They didn't call themselves Minoans. We call them that. Okay. We don't know. We call them Minoans because of King Minos. Basically the idea being the people of Minos, Minoans. They don't exist for just one king. Okay. He's just the most important. And he's the king that rules during the golden age. What's the golden age? Their best time, when trade is awesome, when everything's great. Now, there are some interesting stories about King Minos, some myths. Okay, the word myth, check this out. The word myth is a widely held but false belief or idea, or A traditional story, especially one concerning history, early people, blah, blah, blah. Okay, the religion of Greece is called Greek mythology. Early history of the people. Okay. A widely held but false belief. Okay. Okay, listen. There are a lot of religions. In fact, today, most ancient religions that are dead religions. Nobody worships it anymore. Okay. Um, People don't still give their children to the god, the Babylonian god Marduk. You're like, what? Yeah. People don't worship Greek mythology anymore. Every year, some kid goes, somebody might. Okay, Bob, the weirdo, might. But guys, when we talk about mythology throughout this whole unit, you're gonna see pretty quickly these Greek gods are way flawed. Zeus is a disgusting womanizer who has sex with every female possible. You're like, cool. No, gross. Who wants to worship that? Again, boys. Me. Ugh. Um, Zeus doesn't even like human beings in Greek mythology. He hates human beings. Unless it's a woman that he can have sex with. So the Greek gods are really flawed. Okay. Um, mm, Educated people today are like, yeah, those aren't gods. However, the story of Minos is that he was, I can't change it. There we go. This is not Minos. He was the son of Zeus and a human woman named Europa. Europa. Zeus is now the head god of Greece. He didn't start out that way. His father was. And before him, his father was. If we have time, I'll go into some of the drama stories because, oh my gosh, they're interesting. But some of the beliefs are crazy. It's just fun. But that's only if we're going like fast enough through the year and I have a day that I can waste to tell you these myths because they're just fun. You don't actually have to like know it. So just be aware of that. If I have time, I will tell you. Okay? Because they are fun. It's a fun day. But Zeus is now the king of the gods. Okay? He's overthrown his father. His grandfather was already overthrown. He's now the king of the gods. He's also the god of the sky. All right? He's the one you know who lightning and all that good stuff. Yeah? You've all seen Hercules? There he is. Yeah. You know Zeus. Yeah. Okay. This right here is a statue of Zeus with his staff. Okay? Well, if Minos is his son and his mother is a human woman, then that means Minos is a demi, Demi, demi god, half man, half god, like Heracles. Who's that? Hercules? You've seen Hercules? That's his Roman name. In Greece, he's called Heracles. Okay, am I being petty against Disney right now? Yeah. So, just saying, just so you know, just so you're smarter than everybody else now. Heracles. That being said, he's like Hercules in that he's half man, half god. Okay? Minos does all kinds of cool things in the myths, in the stories. Okay, now listen. There is or was a historical King Minos. We know that. We know that for sure. But did he do all the things that the myths say he did? Probably not. One of the things that you have to do with this unit, with myths, and one of the things that myths do, is you have to be able to pull apart the truth from the religious part of the story, the belief, the spiritual, yeah, that can't happen. Okay. The Greeks are going to mix a lot of their history with myth. King Minos is a historical king, but was he a demigod? Was he the son of Zeus? No. There's also a story concerning Minos that has to do with this. Oh, the Minotaur. I wonder if we got that name because of King Minos. What is a Minotaur? Hmm. Well, I'm glad you asked. Oh my gosh, I forgot to show you those pictures. Sorry. That is a Minotaur. Is that real? Like in the world, is that real? Minotaur is like half man, half bull. Typically, they'll have like the body of a man. Now, in this picture, it's all covered with like hair, but typically the body of a man, and then you have the head of the bull. Okay. There's two different versions of this myth. One version of this myth says, what's his name? Minos. Minos's brother was a minotaur, half man, half bull. Another version of the myth, and part of the problem, part of the reason that you have so many different versions is because these stories were mostly told orally, oral tradition. So people are changing the stories. You all have played the game Telephone, right? Where you whisper in someone's ear, and then it goes all the way around the room, and you see how like messed up it got before it gets back to you. Same type idea. People will change stories. People will make things more entertaining or more exciting or whatever. So that's part of the problem too with having like different myths, okay? But we do have multiple myths to things. One myth says that this Minotaur was his brother, Thadamanthus. Another myth, that was his name. Another myth says, the Minotaur isn't his brother, it's his son. And Minos, well, he loves him. He doesn't want to kill him, whether it's his brother or his son. He doesn't want to kill the Minotaur, even though the Minotaur is like warlike and he definitely likes to eat, young boys. He likes meat. I mean, what bull does? I don't know. But the story is Minos keeps him in the city of Knossos in a very specific place. Okay, look, because I did forget to show you these pictures. These are this is a computer generated picture of what the city of Knossos might have looked like. It's based on archaeological evidence. It is based on like what people said about the city of Knossos. It kind of resembles the early cities that we saw in Mesopotamia. You have square buildings, flat, and they're all really close. Now, in this situation, you have a big plaza. What's the word I'm looking for? Whatever, a big open place in the middle, courtyard. There we go. But yeah, I mean, it's cool, man. Looks nice. These are some pictures of like the archaeological site of Knossos today. All right. So like you can see back here the gorgeous land and stuff, right? But then you see the archaeological site here. What's left? Do you see this? See that? Typically, when you Google Knossos, that's what you're going to see. Oh, come on. There we go. This picture is what comes up all the time because it's really pretty. I mean, just be honest, it really is. This right here is a little piece of what's left, and it's just look at those colors. Gorgeous reds, gorgeous blues. Look at this. This is like a painting on the rock. And what is that? Well, it's a painting of an animal. It's a big horn. Hmm. Look at a little bit more of the city. We'll do some AP picture analyzation here. You see some damage, obviously. I mean, something definitely happened here. Maybe war? Maybe not. Do you see, especially here? It's pretty easy to see right here. Do you see on these pillars right here? These rocks? And you see right here? It's really easy to see right here. On these pillars and on this rock especially. What is that? It's water damage. Water damage. Okay. So they're on an island, so islands flood. All right. You know what it might be? You know what it might be? Is that my eye makeup isn't as dark as usual? You think that's it? My black isn't as dark? You think that's why I feel like I look weird? I don't know. Eesh. Okay, sorry. Squirrel. Okay. I said that, and Sophie's head popped up. The dogs love squirrels. Okay, so anyway, this is water damage. Water damage. Maybe a flood. Okay, could be. Brother or son. He kept him according to the myth. Here. Where? Story says, under the palace, there was a labyrinth. A labyrinth is like a maze, except a maze has like a starting point and they say, get from here to here. And you're like, ooh, until you get to the out. That's not how a labyrinth is. A labyrinth, everything goes to the middle. Everything goes to the middle. The story says, the myth says, that King Minos had this giant labyrinth built underneath the palace. And that's where the Minotaur was kept. Okay. Why? This is a coin. You're looking at a coin. Okay. I guess you're looking at two coins. Whatever. Sorry. One is a square shaped labyrinth. One is a circular labyrinth. The stories say usually that it was a circular one. But this right here is cool. I just think this is so cool. This is a mosaic. It's a whole bunch of tiles on someone's floor. And it makes up the floor. Instead of carpet and stuff, it's a whole bunch of tiles that make up a picture. Labyrinth with a bowl in the middle? I wonder if they're referring to the Minotaur. Has there been that's not where I wanted to go. Has there been a labyrinth found under the Palace of Knossos? No. Maybe they're not there yet. Maybe they haven't dug it far enough yet. I don't know. But I haven't heard anything. Minos was real. That Amanthus, his brother, was real. He had a son. Were any of them a Minotaur? But bulls were really important to the people of Knossos. The people of Crete, oops, that's not what I meant to do. The people of Crete worship bulls. So did the people of Persia for a while. The bull gods were important gods. Look at this. This is a really famous painting. It's on a wall at Minoa, at Knossos. I'm sorry. Here we go. What you have here is the Minoan sport of bull jumping. You have a giant bull. You have a guy over here, like holding his horns, because that sounds fun. You have a guy here, like acrobatically jumping over the bull. Guys, not jumping like, pretend like my phone is the bull. Yes, look, Flint and Freya. Pretend like this is the bull. Here's the head, here's the tail. You're not jumping over this way. You're jumping over long ways. Sound fun? This guy's very acrobatically, oh, I'm pointing, you can't see it. I'm sorry. This guy's very acrobatically jumping over. And this guy right here, I'll catch you. Or maybe he's like, ta-da! I don't know what he's doing. But yeah, like bulls were a big deal in Crete. There's another story that says when Minos' mother got to Crete, it's because Zeus disguised himself as a bull. And he took her away from like Sparta or some city. And he swam all the way as a bull to Crete with her on his back. And then they had themselves 3 kids. In the shape of a bull or not, I don't know, whatever. Guys, myths, these god stories, are going to be mixed into their history like crazy. And that makes learning about Greece a lot of fun. But if you're not, I don't know, savvy about like separating the truth with the spiritual, the truth with the myth, it's going to make it hard. So get savvy. Hang on now. Yeah. Okay, so something happens. Minoa, the civilization, the city of Knossos, turns into that. What happened to them? Well, we don't know for sure, but I mean, theoretically, we're pretty sure the theory is correct. The theory is this. This right here, you see this picture actually a lot whenever you see like Greek stuff. Because I mean, it's gorgeous. The city is gorgeous. Santorini. Look at this, all this white. I don't even like white, but I'm like, oh, that's pretty. Ooh, I want to show you at night. Isn't that cool? Okay. Oh, that's kind of a small picture. Okay. What was the name of this originally? Um, it's not that. I cannot remember. Um, Yeah. It had a different name. And it's a TH, I think. Something. Thera. Is that it? Minoan eruption of Thera. Okay. I knew it had a different name. Are you looking? A massive volcanic eruption, perhaps one of the largest ever witnessed by mankind, took place at Thera, present day Santorini. I just couldn't remember the name of it. Thera. Okay, so see, I was like, I know it's not this word right here. Thera. Okay, so this right here, yeah, volcano Thera. Today, again, we refer to it as Santorini. Um, I'm sorry, I was looking at the picture. But this all used to be like one giant volcano, like one giant mountain. Earthquakes. The Minoans started feeling some earthquakes. Okay, that happens. And then there was a massive explosion. Okay, look, let me go back to this map over here. I'll come back to this map actually quite a bit throughout this whole unit. So Santorini's up here somewhere, okay? And they would have been able to see the explosion, like way far away in the distance. They would have seen the cloud of ash, the plume coming, right, whichever direction it was going. They would have seen it off in the distance. Okay. Well, earthquakes, volcanic explosion, right? And they're like, oh, whoa. And then you should have learned this last year, geography class. When there's a huge volcano in water, what often comes? Tsunami. A wall of water coming south smashes boom, straight into the island of Crete, nails the city of Knossos. Flood damage? Hmm. The island of Crete, whew, it's a mess. Human beings naturally rebuild. That's what we do. Okay? We don't just live in ruins usually. We usually rebuild. But shortly after, some Mycenaean Greeks, Greeks from the mainland, show up. There's, what's the word? Opposing stories. Some historians believe that the Mycenaean Greeks came to Crete to take them over. Some historians I've read say no, they weren't trying to take them over, they were trying to help them. Because what ends up happening is most of the Minoans from down here end up going with the Mycenaean Greeks back up here to the mainland of Greece. And they're basically just going to be absorbed into mainland Mycenaean Greek culture. And then the island of Crete will just be abandoned for a while. Okay. In fact, the Romans go to the island of Crete later and they see it and they're like, what is this? I mean, it's all overgrown and stuff. There have been people who have started, living there, but it's very, very primitive living. Um, we do have a little bit of a problem with exactly what happened because of the way the Minoans wrote. Yeah. And it has, okay, I was like, I'm pretty sure they call it something, but I wasn't thinking that. But linear A, okay, whatever. I wasn't going there. But I mean, look at the way the writing is. I mean, it resembles cuneiform ish. There's a little bit of a problem decoding it. I mean, they are. They're in the process. No. Well, okay, there's some of it. Yeah, because I've seen some of this before. They're in the process. Have they finished like an entire alphabet? No. So anything that was actually written like by the Cretans, we're a little iffy on. We kind of have to go with like stories about them or archaeological evidence about them or what the Mycenaean Greeks said about them, that kind of thing. Yeah, this right here is like one of the most famous things that you'll see, and it's circular. That's weird. You will hear, I'm not telling you this. I'm not saying this is true because I don't know. But just so that you know, you will hear people whenever they talk about Atlantis. You will hear a lot of people who think that the island of Atlantis was Crete. What's his name talks about them like falling into the ocean or whatever. They didn't fall into the ocean, but they got, nailed. I was looking for, is it this? Okay, yeah, here are some of the circular things. Weird. Like what does that say? Maybe it doesn't say anything. Maybe it's just pictures. I don't know. But yeah, you have a lot of weird writing that a lot of it's circular. Historians are like, what the heck? We're trying to decode it. I think it's really cool though. I like the Minoans. I think they're interesting. So the Minoans will end up going back to the mainland of Greece. And again, they're just going to be absorbed into the other Greek culture. They just kind of become Mycenaean Greeks. And later, when they move farther north, Dorian Greeks. Okie dokie. All right, that's it. First video done. Which means next, woohoo, the Trojan War. Bye.